Imagine that a regular woman participates in a bizarre experiment about memory. She is told that on Sunday she'll be put into a deep sleep and a coin will be flipped to determine whether or not she's woken up once or twice. If she's woken up twice, she will be briefly interviewed, then given a substance that wipes her memory of being awoken and puts her back to sleep for the rest of the experiment. If she's only woken up once, be woken up at the end of the experiment and interviewed then, with no extra substances involved. No matter whether she's woken up once or twice, she'll be interviewed at the end and then asked what she believes the chances are that she was woken up twice. This is the Sleeping Beauty problem, which is supposed to highlight a problem with subjective experience. That's what I'm left to assume, because all I did was read about people arguing over whether it's a 1 in 3 chance or a 1 in 2 chance, which might be some of the dumbest arguments for a philosophical problem I think I've ever had to read, if I'm going to be brutally honest about it. It's like somebody came up with it, didn't realize what it was actually about, and then everybody else also missed the point. I'm sure you already know that subjective experience does not always reflect reality very well. That part is obvious. So it's not about the odds of the woman answering correctly, it's more about the lingering effects of our experiences. You might assume that if you wipe our memories, then it basically didn't happen. Right? Wrong. Everything that goes through our brain has to do so through our neural pathways. The act of waking her up and interviewing her triggers a certain pattern of neurons, which subtly alters these pathways in our brain. The more you use these pathways, the stronger they become. Memories are like a conscious interpretation of certain pathways within our brains. To fully erase a memory would mean reverting the physical structure of the brain to some previous state, which a substance can't do. At most, it would block the ability to recall it, but the changes in the neural pathways would still be there, and could still influence the decision of someone who's particularly intuitive or connected to their subconscious. Here's a better example. Think of a person you haven't seen in years. Family, friend, neighbor, whoever, doesn't matter. Try to remember everything about what they look like. Odds are you can't remember everything well, and some details are at least a bit fuzzy, even if you have the overall picture. Does this mean that you wouldn't recognize them if you saw them again? No, of course not. You most likely would recognize them. And even if you didn't, you would undoubtedly feel like they look strangely familiar. Once you connect the dots, your brain puts it all together, and you can continue on like nothing really changed. Established neural pathways that go unused start to degrade, but they never truly disappear. They're like hard-packed dirt roads. You can lead them for years untouched by anybody, but they will still retain the general appearance of a road. Some parts will be so compacted that nothing really grows there. You can still sort of tell where the road was supposed to be. If that road is ever put back into use, it's significantly easier to fix up the old road than it would be to clear a completely new road. You can recognize people you haven't seen in years because somewhere inside your brain there is an overgrown road dedicated to the memory of that person. It might be so overgrown that you can't even tell there was supposed to be a road, but if you re-trigger that memory with fresh sensory input, such as seeing them again, that road in your brain can clear itself up real fast. This is essentially why your brain can retain information at all. It's actually a physical part of you in a very technical sense. So if the woman was woken up twice during the experiment, she may not remember it, but that doesn't erase the reality of what happened. Somewhere, something inside her changed, and she might pick up on that without even realizing it. The odds of her getting it right don't really matter because things that have already happened can't be fully undone. You carry your memories with you quite literally. There's not really any way to erase memories, so the best you can do is make new ones to replace them. Since old neural pathways don't go away, you might as well repurpose them for something better.